Namaste, welcome to Yoga with Hitesh. My name is Hitesh and today we will talk about how to improve our yoga practice. I've been practicing for a very long time. I am 34 years old now and I think I became quite regular with the practice at the end of my teenage. It also started with a back pain that I wanted to cure, and that's when I started taking the practice seriously. Until then, there was a lot of mantra chanting, a lot of worshipping and pranayama involved in the practice, but I could never become so regular with it because my parents were into it and they were asking me to practice, and you know how it is when you are a teenager, you want to do everything that your parents ask you not to do. So when I had this back pain, I came back to the practice, and from there, not only that the back pain completely disappeared and I did not have to rely on medications at all, I gained so much more perspective on life, and at this stage of my life, I became a yoga teacher. I've been teaching for more than 5 years now, and my life has just completely changed, and I try to live by the yogic principles as much as possible. And so I'm sharing some of my experiences with you. So when we talk about improvement in the yoga practice, we need to clarify what does yoga mean for us, because it could mean different for different people, and also your intention to practice yoga could be different. So for example, let me explain. If, let's say, you are focused on your asana practice, on your movement practice, then improvement could mean either that you want to be able to do more and more difficult postures over time, or improvement could mean that if you observe your body, you notice that your flexibility, your mobility, your strength and balance and coordination has improved. So that could be one indicator. Let's take another example. If your reason for practicing yoga, if yoga for you is a state of self-realization, you want to know yourself better and better, and that is where your focus is, then the improvement could mean, let's say, you could focus on the quality of your mind. If you are a calm and content person, if you are over time becoming more equanimous, you are not overtaken by greed and pride and jealousy as often as you were at some point in the past. If at the times of loss and profit, you can maintain a serene, calm, and again, you have to compare it with your previous version. If that is happening, you are improving in your yoga practice. So no matter what your intention and what your goal with the practice is, the tips that I'm going to share with you, they will help you regardless. So let's get to them. So the first thing that I'm talking about is consistency. Everyone knows it, but let me give you a perspective. Look, no matter what is the intention of your practice, or no matter what else do you do in your life, to get better at it, you have to do it over and over again. You have to repeatedly do it and tweak some changes in the process. When you keep learning something new, you keep implementing it. So you have to show up. Each and every cell has its own memory. So your body has to get used to what you are trying to do. Your body, your breath and your mind, they are consistently together trying to learn. So it won't be enough just to have your information in your head, but also to trickle it down in your whole body. So consistency will be very important for your practice. Now, how can you become more consistent with your practice? There are some things that you can try in order to become more consistent. Pick a place where you practice. Where do you like to practice at home? Let's say if you don't have a big place and you can't find an extra corner, whichever corner that you make for your practice, choose the same corner every day and keep it clean, keep it tidy, keep it organized every time you enter in that place. You will create a sacred space for your practice, and you will enter with a specific mindset to that space. And as you do that over and over at the same time every day, more or less the same time every day at the same space, then it will be very easy for you to get into that mind space where you get focused very fast, where you enjoy practicing. So choose your yoga mat or anything that you use for your practice. Choose it, make it personalized, and use the same thing all the time. You will create a personal connection with your yoga mat. Choose yoga clothes, and the clothes that you choose for yoga, they're only for yoga. Do not mix them up with do not use the t-shirt for other purposes. Now if this t-shirt is used for yoga and sound healing related, this is something that I do as well with a couple of friends, so only for this purpose this will be used. And you want to get into the practice with a certain mindset. I would really recommend you to take a shower before your practice. If you can't do that, at least wash your feet, wash your hands, wash your face, wash your ears, wash your eyes a bit, and enter with a fresh mindset in your practice. It will help you. If you build a ritual around your practice, it will help you. Choose the time of the day when you like to practice. Do you connect better in the morning before the day begins, before the mind is full of impressions? Or does it help you when you finish work and you have some time in the afternoon or in the evening and then you practice? Another thing about consistency is that you want to remain consistent no matter how you're feeling. Do not take decisions based on your emotions. You want to set the intention that this is what I'm doing, and let's say some days you are sick, some days you're feeling weak, some days you don't have the energy. You can still show up in that space. Just sit and meditate for 5 minutes. Just sit and take a few deep breaths, or just sit and struggle with whatever you're struggling in that space. But go in that space. Train yourself that that is the place you really want to be no matter how you're feeling. In fact, in my case, if I'm feeling bad and worse, it is the place I really want to be. Nowhere else is that I want to be. So my life starts revolving around my yoga practice. I don't fit my yoga practice around my life. I fit my life around my yoga practice. So that switch has to happen for you to improve in your yoga practice. And another thing that will help you with your yoga practice is breathing. You want to remain conscious of your breath as much as possible, as often as possible, and try taking slow and deep and relaxing breaths. It will help you keep your mind relaxed. No matter you are doing asanas, or you are doing meditation, or you are reading something, anything that you are doing that you call yoga, try to come to your breath. Whenever you feel distracted, whenever you feel confused, you want to give up, doubt comes in, uncertainty kicks in, you want to just leave the practice, or you can't focus, stay with your breath. Stay with your breath. I cannot overstate the importance of staying with your breath. Your breath is a link between your gross perception and your subtle inner perception of life. And the more you are in tune with your breath, the more you will blur the boundary between the external and the internal. It will all start to merge together. Your breath is not only going to help you physiologically, but spiritually, energetically. It will make you aware of yourself in a way that it is not possible without being aware of the breath. And especially if you're doing asana practice, to improve in your practice, you will need your breath. I will advise you to try and refrain from music that is of any other kind than listening to mantras or listening to really melodic instrumental music, very slow with really low BPM. And if possible, you want to listen to the sound of your breath. You want to listen to the rhythm of your breath. Is your breath shaking? Is it vibrating? Is it short and shallow? Is it sometimes long and deep, sometimes short and shallow? Is it uneven? Is it regular? Is it irregular? You can begin to take interest in your breath. You will find yourself feeling bored sometimes or restless with your breathing. But as you spend more and more time, and do not take your decisions based on how you feel at a certain moment or how your mind is acting in a certain moment, but stick to how you observe your breath, and you are kind of waiting for that moment when you know that you're going to feel this trick being played on you with your mind that look, now it's getting boring, is the same breathing all the time, anything. You are already in advance aware that your mind is going to play a trick on you, and you know that you will wait for that moment, you will allow that moment to expand, and you will stay with your breath. If you're sitting, you will lie down. If you're lying down and feeling sleepy, you will sit down or even stand up and stay in Tadasana. You will keep your spine straight and connect with your breath. And you will never give up when your mind says give up. You will always take some time. You will always have this negotiation, like a very diplomatic negotiation. You never want to get angry with your mind. You just want to have this friendly negotiation, and always decide, always feel like you chose when to stop the practice, rather than when you felt this impulse to stop the practice. And while you're negotiating and navigating between all this, your breath will really take you far. So stay with your breath. This will really help you. The third tip that I will give you is listen to your body. You don't want to force your body in any posture. Your body is an integral part of your yoga practice. A lot of times when you are going spiritually, you just want to leave your physical plane and go to an astral reality, and you stop taking care of your body. Or sometimes there is this, I would say, what's the word? An incorrect interpretation of you are not this body, you are not this mind. Your body is your church, your body is your temple, and you want to really this body will take you far. This body will take you far and beyond. Wherever you want to go, this body will take you. You don't have to be like, you don't have to cling to this body or to attach to this body, because your soul will always take a different body when this body is not needed. That does not mean you don't take care of your body. Just like I will get rid of this t-shirt a few years later whenever it's not useful anymore, it doesn't mean that I won't take care of this t-shirt until then. I will always keep it clean. I will always try to put it in a nice place, hang it or fold it nicely and keep it somewhere and not throw it around in the house. I will always take care of it. And when I have to get rid of this t-shirt, maybe I will donate it to someone, and only if it's torn or really can't be used, maybe I'll use it to wipe my bike, or I will try to always use this t-shirt in the best possible way, and then eventually I will just discard it. And you will treat everything in your life like that. So why not your body? Your body is your temple, and you want to not force your body. And as we go to the point number 2, when we talked about listen to your breath, if you're moving your body and listening to your breath at the same time, your breath will help you to go deeper into understanding of your body's limits and abilities and capabilities. So when you are trying to force yourself into the posture, your breath will begin to shake, and you know that is when you want to stop. You're doing something, there is always an edge where it's too easy, too hard, and there is a point where it's neither too easy nor too hard. You always want to find yourself there, hold yourself there, and stay there unless it becomes really easy, so you go further, or it becomes really hard and you come back. And you want to keep navigating in that space. Too easy or too hard, too easy or too hard, and you find that center, and your breath will help you understand what's going on. So you won't unnecessarily, sometimes out of pride, push yourself. Or you are in a yoga class with other students and you see someone, you're impressed by someone's practice, and you're trying to force your body to have that level of practice. You are having an individual journey with yoga. It has nothing to do with anybody else. You don't want to compare. So listen to your body, don't force your body. Find always, if you are sitting in meditation and you want to sit for hours and your legs start becoming numb, you don't want to try to push through pain. You can hurt your knee. If you're trying to sit in lotus for a long time, you can eventually maybe hurt your knee and force your lower back in certain way. So you want to keep changing legs. If you're in lotus, if your left leg is up first, maybe you will bring your right leg up first, or you will place something under your knees, or you will sit on a higher thing, so your buttocks can be higher, knees can be lower, and you will maybe lean back on something. You will find ways to keep your body in a place where it's not going through too much pain. There is a difference between deep stretch and pain. I always suggest to go through the deep stretch, but not through the pain. You don't want to hurt yourself. If you are humble and you are aware of your breath and you are always scanning your body, you will know when you are pushing too much. And an injury always demotivates you. It takes you back several months, sometimes several weeks into your practice, and then you may start having doubts and you may start thinking yoga is not for me. Many things can crop up from there. So try to treat your body like it is a temple, as I already said a few times, I think. So respect your body, and even if your practice is spiritual, meditative, only with pranayama or with asana, whatever you're doing, my friends, take care of your body. Feed it well, keep it clean, and take care of it. Point number 4, seek guidance. You actually always want to seek guidance. No one will take you to the place where you want to be. You will take you to the place where you want to be. But people on the way will help you. Find teachers that you align with, either both in person and online. Maybe you'll find them on YouTube. Maybe you'll find them through their websites. Maybe you'll take online courses, just like you're listening to this YouTube video right now. So seek guidance. Don't over seek guidance, because by listening you won't improve beyond a certain point. You have to apply that listening in your practice. But seek guidance and always be willing to learn, and don't be very strict with your belief system. If you've been meditating in a certain way and you've been believing it in a certain way, always be open to be proved wrong, or always be open to improvement, that someone can say something or show something to you that can help you go further. And you have to let your pride down. If you've been doing something for a year or 2 or 5, you have to let go of it and accept something that could help you and move on. All the practices, all this yoga is a tool for us, for you, to go where you want to go. So don't be attached to the tool. Don't be attached to the tool, although you want to take the tool sincerely. But you will always focus on where you want to go, and whatever helps you go there, you will go there. So seek guidance. If you're doing asana practice, if you go to a teacher, they can help you understand the nitty-gritties of an asana. Maybe you're doing it online, and maybe you're doing it all by yourself, and you don't realize that the posture could feel so much more different than what you do by yourself, just by a teacher helping you with a little bit of alignment. And it can also save you from injuries. So it applies again for asana practices, for pranayama, for meditation practices, and whatever else you do, mantra chanting, visiting holy places, anything that you are doing. Seek guidance. We are a social animal, and we always need people around us. You want to actually create a friend circle of like-minded people who are in a similar path, so that you are not only seeking guidance but also keeping each other motivated and inspired, which will help you maintain consistency and improve your practice, improve your yoga practice, which is the focus of today's conversation. And the last point, my friends, is that you should do Swadhyaya. You should do self-study, the study of the self, which is your practice anyway. But self-study means you always want to remain curious and learn from the books, learn from meditation, and whatever you learn from your practice, apply it, reapply it in your practice. Learning never stops. Keeping an attitude of a beginner student in yoga, even if you've been doing it for 20 years, 30 years, 5 years, you're always a beginner. You always know only as much as you already know. So whatever new information comes into you, when you understand it only from the level of understanding you already have. So there is always this beginner's attitude, so that something new comes and you try to grasp in. It might have nuances that you haven't explored yet. So when you seek guidance and when you study and consistently all the time focused on learning and studying, you will grow better. You will have new information, new knowledge, new insights, new breakthroughs, and this will help you remain consistent. It won't be boring. There will be always something that requires your attention, your curiosity will always be aroused through these things. So just a quick recap. No matter what is the intention and goal of your practice, the improvement can come by consistency, being regular with the practice, following your breath, staying with your breath, respecting your body, taking care of your body, seeking guidance, and doing self-study. There are many more things that you can do, but try to stick with these 5 and see if your practice improves. If you have other suggestions, if you've been a practitioner and you're here and you think there are other things that help to keep the consistency, and it could also be very specific to you, please do share in the comment section and let everyone know what other tools we are all using to maintain our practice, to grow, to have to share this beautiful life within ourselves, and then this presence is shared with everyone around us, so that we can have a peaceful earth and we can take care of ourselves, all the creatures, all the life, and just enjoy this beautiful life we live together. Thank you very much today for listening to me, for spending time with me, sharing your energy with me. And if you are new here, please subscribe to the channel. Please do some practices in this channel and let me know how you find these practices. And keep practicing. I will see you soon. Namaste.